everybody. Welcome to Takeoff with John Clark, presented by Rivers Casino. And Eagles fans, what did you think of the draft that the Birds had? A lot of draft experts ranked the Eagles draft in the top 2 or 3 out of any team. And of course, with their first 2 picks, they're cornering the market. They got 2 of the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL draft. So we're going to catch up with Quinyon Mitchell, the number 1 pick for the Eagles, the first-round pick. He, of course, went to Toledo. We're also going to catch up with Jeremiah Trotter and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. What a story. Jr. drafted by the Eagles 26 years after Jeremiah Sr. was drafted. Also, we go one-on-one with Howie Roseman. He's going to tell us all about the draft. So enjoy these conversations on a special post-draft podcast. All right, we are here with Quinyon Mitchell. Congrats to you. Now, did you initially miss the call from the Eagles?
I missed the call, and then it came to my other phone, and then I answered. So thank God for that.
Best call you've ever gotten?
The best call I ever got.
How about your story? Because you mentioned your grades in high school, and you go to Toledo, maybe under-recruited. What did you prove to everybody, you think, at Toledo and the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, just perseverance, just going through that situation, coming out of high school. Everybody left me. Everybody forgot about me. So just coming and just persevering and just working hard. So, yeah.
Do you still have that chip on your shoulder?
I will always have that chip. No matter how I went, how low I went today, I'll always have that chip on my shoulder.
So I don't know if you know this. You may know this, but Nick Saban revealed tonight that at Alabama, the transfer portal, the number 1 guy they were waiting on to see if he would enter the transfer portal was you.
Oh, for real?
He said that. So you decided to stick with Toledo.
Yeah.
How come?
Just money and other opportunities, they're just not bigger than relationships. Relationships I had at Toledo, they're just so strong, so that's why I stayed. I love those guys. I love everybody in the organization, so just the relationships.
How about relationships when you came to visit the Eagles?
Yeah.
What kind of relationships did you envision by meeting everybody with the Eagles?
It was love all throughout the building, from the coaches to the players to the people in the food service and stuff like that, so it was a lot of love all over.
So tell us about your game. You can play man, you can play off. Can you do it all?
Yeah, I can do it all, man, off, zone, press, everything. Anything they ask me to do, I'm willing to do it.
And obviously Toledo maybe doesn't get the respect. The MAC doesn't get the respect when you play Marvin Harrison and guys like that. Do you think you showed everybody what you can do?
Oh, yeah. The MAC definitely going to get some respect after this. I mean, it's great players to come, great group of players all over the country, so it's definitely going to get some respect.
Now, have you ever met Darius Slay?
Nah, he followed me. I follow him on Instagram. He followed me back, so that's kind of cool for real.
And you kind of modeled some of your game after him. What specifically about Slay did you take?
I think the biggest thing is just the longevity of good football. I mean, I think going into this year 11 for them, they've been playing good football, helping teams and stuff like that. And, yeah, so I'm going to just soak up as much game as I can from them.
So, obviously, it took a lot of hard work to get from where you came from with some bad grades or whatever to this point. That hard work, does it continue even more even though you've gotten drafted into the NFL?
I mean, yeah, it continues more. I mean, it gets better. This is one night. I mean, I got a long career ahead of myself, so I just got to keep my head down and work.
Do you feel pretty lucky that you're drafted into such a great situation and a great team?
I mean, yeah, it's a great city, great fans, great organization, so I mean, I feel pretty good.
Is there something that Philadelphia may not know about you that you could tell us, something about yourself?
Yeah, y'all got to give me the hookup on the cheesesteak spot, the cheesesteak spot. So, yeah, just that for real.
Nice.
Yeah.
What number would you be interested in with the Eagles?
I mean, whatever. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see.
All right, cool. Well, congratulations to you.
No, thank you.
Congratulations on a great night. All right, you want to see some smiles on some faces? The Trotter family right now. Jeremiah and Jeremiah Jr., congratulations, drafted by the Eagles. I mean, is this beyond your wildest dreams of what could have happened?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's definitely a blessing. I'm just, excited to get to work and play for my hometown team.
And Dad, how about you?
Man, very emotional moment, man. Been a long 3 days, but feel very blessed and fortunate to be playing for the best organization in National Football League. Really appreciate the Eagles, Mr. Lurie and Howie, man, for pulling the trigger and getting Junior in there. Now the work begins, man.
So Jeremiah Jr., from what you've seen of your dad to now put on the Eagles jersey with the name Trotter on it, how special is that for you?
No, it means a lot, just the legacy he's left here playing with this organization. I plan on, coming in and carrying it on. Just coming in, making plays for my teammates and just laying on the line, doing everything it takes to help out as much as possible to get more wins for the organization.
And 54 is available, right?
I think so. So that's probably my
We hope so.
that'd probably be my first option or my go-to that I'll ask for.
And Dad, when you see that jersey again with 54 and the name Trotter and your son in that, this has got to be one of the greatest moments of your life.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be an emotional moment for me for sure. This whole process has been pretty special, and we're just thankful. We thank God for even being in this position, man. Not a lot of guys are able to get their name called on draft day, and we're one of the fortunate ones, and we're just appreciative, and we're just grateful for the opportunity.
So I know you had to wait. You had to wait an extra day or more for this, but to make it that much sweeter for both of you that it is the Eagles and the situation has worked out the way it did?
For me, I'm just grateful, for the opportunity. Like my dad was just saying, not many people get the opportunity to be able to, go and play for a team, and especially play for their hometown team. Just like this situation, it pretty much worked out perfect. But I just really appreciative of Howie and the team for giving me a chance and opportunity. I'm ready to go.
We haven't even signed a contract. We're already saving money. He don't have to pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how about that being close at home, Jeremiah Jr.? Some people say there's maybe too much around you, but is it special having that comfort zone with your family and your dad here for you in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, when you're familiar with the area, you're comfortable, with just like the where you're living at. It definitely helps out. I feel like players that sometimes they feel uncomfortable going to new places where family isn't really around, but I got family around. I know the area, so I already have that comfortable factor. When I'm here with the team.
And for both of you, did you get any inkling when the Eagles were coming up with these picks? Did they give you any hint that this could possibly happen?
Man, we was in the dark just like everybody else. It was just sitting there with Junior was holding the phone in his hand, and we were just waiting on the call, man. We was, just trying to be patient, and it's a very anxious time.
All right, so Junior, you have the phone in your hand, and did you see the name Howie Roseman popped up, or could you tell it was the Eagles?
When I got the call, I saw it came up and said PA. I was like, oh yeah. Once I seen the PA, I was like, okay. I knew who it was.
And what kind of moment was that when Howie Roseman, I believe, called you and tells you you're going to be an Eagle?
No, it was a great moment. I was super excited, super pumped. They were, happy with the pick, just carrying on that legacy and with the bloodline and everything. But I'm just super grateful to have this opportunity.
And Jeremiah, could you tell that Junior had gotten the call? Like, could you see that it was Howie Roseman?
Yeah, we're in West Virginia, my youngest son's spring game, and we were sitting in the truck waiting on him to come out of the locker room, and I heard hello. So I looked, and I was at the game. I was watching him the whole time to see if he was on the phone with anybody. And when he got that call, man, it was, just a lot of, a big relief, big relief that you got the call and then you can go to work. Because at the end of the day, you look at Tom Brady, you look at Brock Purdy, and you look at many other guys that came through. It don't matter where you go. What matters is when you step on that football field and the plays you make out there on that field, man.
And I know you're very, very busy. I'll leave you with one final question for both of you. I'll start with Dad first. When you see Jeremiah Jr. at the link for the first time, and he does the axe chop out there on the field, I mean, come on. Is there anything better in life?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a mess, man. I'm emotional now, just thinking about all that. Just thinking about, the 2004 NFC Championship game. He was 1 year old. I had him in my arms doing a interview with Sal Pal, and just bring back a lot of memories, man. I got pictures of him in the locker room with his brother and him wearing the Eagles helmet, and we thankful, man. And it's great to have him close too, man. I don't have to travel across the country, so I thank God for that. And, we're just looking forward to getting to work.
Jeremiah Jr., can you picture yourself playing in the link and you saw what your dad did all those years at the link and doing the axe chop at the link?
Yeah, I could definitely, picture that. Been on the sideline, been in the stands. Now I get to actually be on the field. So I can't wait to, get out there and, get to work and, just really prove myself.
Well, congratulations to you. And this is one of the coolest stories we've heard. And this is an amazing moment for your family. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, John.
Hey, celebrity cook Steve Martirano is bringing his Italian-American cooking back home to Philly, where it started. Enjoy Martirano's Prime at Rivers Casino and Steve's famous meatballs with Sunday gravy, prime steaks, and more. So make reservations for Martirano's Prime on Open Table. I've been to the one in Fort Lauderdale. I'm glad it's back in Philly. All right, we are joined by Howie Roseman now, and we just heard from Jeremiah Trotter Sr. He was very emotional that you drafted his son. Was that one of the more special phone calls, one of the most proud phone calls you made to Jeremiah Trotter Jr.?
Yeah, that was special. Just thinking about the player, the family, the opportunity to get that guy. The ironic thing was we got to the combine, we got the combine schedule. Our first interview at the combine was Trotter. And, sometimes you just kind of think, I kind of felt it, that it was going to work out last week when we were doing our pre-draft press conference. I don't know why. Sometimes you just feel things. And we were lucky. We were just lucky how the draft kind of fell, that we had the opportunity to get him. And again, this guy's going to make his own name. He's going to put his own spin on it. He's a heck of a football player, and we're excited to bring him here. You said you're sentimental. You've had a lot of great players here. Did you sometimes have to check yourself and say, hey, somebody else check out this tape? Do you agree with me? We should take this guy. He's that good? Yeah, we got a lot of grades on players. We got a lot of constituents here, looking at stuff. And so I think we come to a grade on the board and we stick to that grade, and then we take guys based on that grade. So we're not going to push guys up, based on anything other than how they play football. And he's a heck of a football player. All right, so you're sitting there at 22 in the first round, and you mentioned you didn't have 32 first-round grades. So let's say there's a handful of guys sitting there that you could have taken. What made Quinyon Mitchell the guy, and did need have anything to do with it if there was a tackle or an offensive lineman there that you could have taken? Yeah, I think you get to the point where if grades are the same, you look at your board and it goes, it's vertical and it's horizontal, and you kind of look across, and if you have the same grades on guys, and then you start getting into other factors. You get into character. You get into mentality, you get into position, and all those things check out when you talk about him, and so it was a pretty easy pick for us at 22. You've got Micah Parsons on another team saying, how does Howie keep doing this? And then Chase Daniel tweeted out, he gets the two top corners in the draft, or two of the top corners. Jeffrey Lurie said he was obsessed with getting Cooper the next day. If you had gone into this draft saying you got Quinyon and Cooper, first two picks, would you have said, I'll take it? Yeah, sure. Now, they got to go play, and I think that's the most important thing. We got to bring them here. We got to develop them. We got to give them the resources to make sure we make the best of their talent, and then we'll kind of write the story on their career. So I think now that we get them to come to Philly, bring them in the building. They'll see we got an unbelievable support staff. We'll rally around these guys, and we'll try to make sure we get the best out of them. You have locked up a lot of your offensive weapons and a lot of players on offense. Now, last year, 4 of your first 5 picks were defense. This year, your first 3 were on defense. Is it coincidence, or do you have to rebuild the defense with younger players with the amount of money you're spending on offense? Yeah, I think obviously all 3 phases of the ball are important, and the way the board fell in this draft with a lot of the offensive players being taken before the 22nd pick in the first round to push down some guys that allowed us to get those 2 guys at the top. And then, we're not drafting for need. We're going through the board, and we're trying to find the best players. And, in the 3rd round, that happened to be a defensive player. And in the 4th round, that was an offensive player. And it kind of went back and forth a little bit like that. So, we're going to make sure that we're really trying to stay true to our process, that we're getting the best players here. Because we would kick ourselves if 2 years from now we just drafted based on needs. We don't know what we're going to need in a couple of years. We just need as many good players as we possibly can get.
And you mentioned this week you like to bring in guys sometimes, let them see how the veterans go about their business for a year or so. Darius Slay's in the secondary. He's welcoming these young corners already. Are you confident this is going to be a good situation for them coming in and seeing how Slay operates on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, we got great people on this football team, and you just mentioned Slay. I mean, what a great person, a captain. You know, we're lucky to have him on the Eagles, and what he does for our young players, the effort that he makes, the things that people don't see behind the scenes, when he's out on the field after practice teaching them technique, when he's taking them out in the city of Philadelphia to kind of show them the right places to go and to show them how to be a pro. He's a special person.
All right, a couple final questions for you.
Sure.
A.J. Brown, you didn't necessarily need to do a contract extension right now. Why did you feel this was the right time to do this with A.J.?
Yeah, sometimes in quiet times, those are the best times to do things, you know, and I think that it made a lot of sense for us kind of going into it to understand that this is what we were going to look like from an offensive standpoint kind of going forward, you know, going into this draft. It made us feel really good that we feel like we got the best receiver combo in the National Football League, locked up under contract, and, you know, we just felt like the timing was right from our perspective.
You mentioned wanting to bring in some guys that had a chip on their shoulder. You mentioned character. Were there any things that you went into this draft like those things saying, we got to get back to that, or let's focus on that?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is performance. You know, we got to make sure we get good players that have tools in their body to reach the height of their development, but at the same time, you know, mentality guys who love football, guys who practice hard, guys that when you know, things aren't going well, they have the mindset of kind of doing whatever they can to lift people up, and we have a lot of guys like that on this team, but you can never have enough, and the more people we have like that in this building, on and off the field, the more success we're going to have, and I think we got a lot of those guys here, you know, playing for us and certainly working for us as well too.